Welcome home, brave heroes. I'm Ash, this is Ashquest, and geez Louise, that was fast. Flashhammer Creative Studios reached out to me asking if maybe I would be interested. Ash, I didn't see that. That's how it was addressed to me. The mail carrier was like, yes, I know where this goes. Flashhammer Creative Studios, of course, being the creator and publisher of Advanced Armory. And to be honest, I just kind of blanked out after that initial sentence and said, yeah, whatever it is, just send it to me. And it got here in like no time flat. So what do we have here? We have a beautiful array, just many soldiers, undead marshmallow masses for use with HeroQuest. I've got a fan on in the distance, and that's why they're kind of blowing across the board. But would these HeroQuest? Yes. You can mash them down and they'll return to their original shape in like 30 seconds. It just reminds me of that Hanna-Barbera character, Gleep, Gloop. There's some other stuff in this box too, as bonuses. We'll go ahead and see what those are. First, some very non-proprietary HeroQuest dice. I love seeing stuff like this. These are beautiful, by the way. They are deeply engraved. The dice themselves are the same material, same weight, same feel as the OG dice. The symbols are bigger though, but it gives them much more of a presence on the board. And here's a comparison of the shields involved, the skulls, just in case you missed it, and then the symbol of evil, which, when turned upside down, is, well, it's not an adorable bunny these days anymore anyway, so never mind. These are cool. Long story short, these are cool. I will absolutely treasure them. That's not all. We've got also a set of what I can only describe as the evil version of these dice. Now the skull, shield, and black shield configuration is the exact same, so I think that these are just themed dice rather than mechanically different in any way. I mean, obviously they're not mechanically different. What else do we have? The Advanced Armory Hero's Guidebook. The realm stands at the edge of ruin, so I ask you now, who among you dares to stand and be called hero? The Hero's Guidebook is your gateway to high adventure, a lighthearted yet robust player's handbook built for the D6-based Advanced Armory questing system. Paired with our collection of card decks, dice tiles, and other assets, you're fully equipped to craft unforgettable game nights. Its modular design allows groups to tailor mechanics, themes, and complexity to suit any table. Advanced Armory can be used as a standalone game system or seamlessly integrated into classics like HeroQuest. Let's break this book out of its packaging and give you these barcodes. Here you go, QR code and barcode. Looks like it's going to retail for $18 USD, printed in the USA. This is a thick book, it is chunky, and this is not an Amazon KDP print on demand. It does not have the KDP ISBN or barcode or anything. So that's interesting. Now, before I get into that, what is in this blister pack? This is not a small amount of cards. This is like, feels like 50 cards in here. This feels very fancy. Am I opening something that's like blind box because it's random or because it's just a surprise? Is it going to be random in every deck, every time we get one of these? An Advanced Armory sticker. That is so cool. Somebody out there is going to ask what happened to my hands. The recent Ashquest lore is I was pulling vines in my backyard and I was afflicted with many small spots, and I have itch cream on them, and so they're a bit pronounced. I'm trying to keep them out of frame, but just in case anybody's wondering. We've got an accordion book, a quick reference guide. I like this these days a little bit better than a manual, the little accordion deal that you can just keep tucked away in your front pocket or something. But this explains attacking, casting a spell, equipping an item, searching, using an item, and using a skill. It also explains free actions and something called Arcane Surge. Once per quest, you may attempt to cast one spell at the next tier above your own. If you choose to do so, you must immediately roll for Arcane Surge. Roll a d6, you take mind damage equal to the result. If you roll a 6, you also suffer d6 body damage. If you are unlucky enough to roll another 6, any other creature in the room suffer 1 body damage and 1 mind damage as well. It's kind of like an explosion. A mental explosion, and then a physical explosion, and then a physical explosion that affects everybody else. Body check. Advanced Armory includes some game mechanics that require a test of strength, dexterity, or constitution. For body checks, roll 2d6. If your total roll is less than your max body score, you are successful. For opposed body checks, 2 or more participants roll 2d6. Whoever has the highest current body score adds +1 to their total. The participant with the highest total wins. Some tools and skills allow you to disarm traps during a quest. You must be adjacent to the square containing the target trap. Declare an action, roll a d6. We have an ethereal keyword, a flying keyword, grapple. Grapple is an attack action and has the grapple keyword. Once you declare that you wish to grapple with your target, the following rules apply. Target a creature within range of the attack. The attacker and defender remain in a grapple until it is broken, released, or one of them dies. On each defender's turn, they must roll an opposed body check as their action. When the attacker wins an opposed body check, the defender takes 1 point of body damage and the grapple continues. Then there is a mind check. Great quick reference. Love that. Love the stickers. Next up, we have a sleeved Artificer's Guild card. I'm going to de-sleeve it though, just to make sure there's no Unintended Glare, Artificer's Guild, Ignavox the Ashbringer, nice. Ignavox speaks only in molten alien tongues. Its voice is fire, its will is ruin. In classic Advanced Armory fashion, we have the picture of the weapon, which could be a lot of different things. There are actually a lot of different weapons in Advanced Armory that just have different appearances but the same stats, and that is to allow people to be able to kind of customize their character. You might already have a dagger, and then you find a dagger, but you like the look of that one more, even though it has the same stats, so you just replace it with your own, you replace your own with it, and the same goes for some armor as well. But the Ashbringer has 3 skulls and will target any adjacent square orthogonally. It's a melee weapon with a flame attribute. What is in this sleeve? And for anybody wondering, we are going to skim through the contents of the Advanced Armory book here, but I am not wanting to show you everything in it right here on the video. That would make it rather unsurprising when you acquire it for yourself, but we'll definitely go over the table of contents, summarize it, and check out a little bit of each of the sections here very shortly. It's been a long time since I've gotten some Advanced Armory cards. Grimoire, nice, that's new for me. Here's classic Advanced Armory backings. For some reason, in 2 different decks here, 2 different collections, we also have some Arcane College. We'll keep these with the Armory cards just in case there is a link between them. Ooh, Wizard, Spell Sword, Fighter, Barbarian, more Armory, and then Alchemist Shop cards. Okay, so in my mind, random booster pack is what we're seeing. That's cool though, I like that. And first up, we're gonna look at the Armory cards. We have an Oak Quarterstaff, a Leather Helmet, a Leather Armor, a Wool Cloak, a Wool Gloves, and a Suede Boots. I'll have to go through my existing Arcane or Advanced Armory deck and see if any of these are doubles. If I have doubles, I will happily give away those that are redundant. We have a Potion of Defense. We have a Broadsword. We have a Potion of Strength. We have a Minor Potion of Healing. We have a Minor Potion of Healing. We have Ambush, which is a hero skill. Play immediately after triggering a monster attack. You may attack first. If the monster survives, it may then make its normal attack. Discard after use. This is an Armory card. Interesting that it would have the same back. Wonder why that is. I guess you could be searching for treasure and draw from the Advanced Armory deck, and then if you draw a hero skill, that just happens to be a little trick up your sleeve that you thought about, that you have, because it's not seemingly limited to any specific hero. An interesting way of doing things. Reconnaissance, hero skill. Play while adjacent to a closed door. Using your senses and training, you can identify what creatures lie within. Any monsters in that room spawn on the map, but only monsters, furniture, or other doors. So long as the door remains closed, they will remain idle. Discard after use. We have the Barbarian, and for a blessing, it looks like we have moved away from AI art. I'm pretty sure Flash Hammer has moved away from it quite a while ago, but it's definitely worth mention, and it is definitely worth my praise here, because if a creator can move away from that type of asset use, then I think it adds a lot more value to what the creator is trying to accomplish. Equipment starts with the Broadsword and 1 potion, chosen during hero creation. Movement of 8, attack of 2, defense of 2, body points 8, mind points 2. Next up, the Fighter. Oh, these were double-sided, so we have male and female barbarians. Yes, yes, and the stats are the same on both sides, as they should be, but we have male and female Fighter, which is basically going to be our dwarf, male-female Spell Sword, which is basically going to be our elf, and Wizards also, male-female. A Vale Lands Bernard, which is a companion. The Vale Lands Bernard may equip 1 body and 1 neck slot and has an inventory limit of 6. And he is absolutely prepared to sustain you with life-nourishing rum should you fall in battle while you are in the snow-covered driftlands. He has the keywords Companion, Beast, and Hound. Okay, next up we've got some Armory cards and a couple more of these Arcane College cards. I don't think I've looked at any of those yet. Nope, they've been Armory thus far. We have the Tool Belt. I don't have this one. I know I don't have this one. As an action, you may spend a charge to attempt to disarm an unsprung trap. Roll a d6. If the result is 4 or better, you succeed. And the Mnemonic Recall Mage skill. Each time you cast a spell, roll a mind check. On success, do not discard the cast spell. If you suffer 3 or more points of mind damage during this quest, discard this skill immediately. Resonant Pulse. Once per quest, you may attempt to restore a spent magical charge to an item in your inventory. Roll a mind check. If the attempt is successful, the item regains a single charge. If the attempt fails, you suffer 1 arcane damage. Unweave, which is a mage skill. Target a spell just cast, you may attempt to negate it by rolling a mind check. On success, the spell is discarded. Discard after use. You have slightly different effects to this if it is a mage spell versus a wizard spell versus an archmage spell. and a short sword and a hammer. And that covers all of the cards that came with my blind package. Now, this is a long overdue thank you very much to Flash Hammer Creative Studios. We're one taking this. We're going to minimally edit. One take. We're leaving in all the gaffes, all the stutters, all the misspeaks. Advanced Armory. Thick, high quality paper. Got that nice matte finish. I like this a lot. It's the Alchemist Shop, Artificer's Guild. That would be an example of something we're going to leave in. And Arcane College. The one rule, this is your game, play it your way. You are invited to use Advanced Armory, however it brings the most joy, excitement, and satisfaction to you and your fellow adventurers. We've got a thank you section, attributions to the artists, numerous artists, really like that. So if you're looking for an artist for your project, here are a lot of great artists, definitely worth checking out. We've got an editor, printers, vendors, Baron of Dice, MakePlayingCards.com, TheGameCrafter.com, Mixam.com or Mixam. And then our chapters include the game system, the Heroes Guild, the Armory, the Alchemist Shop, the Arcane College, the Heroes Market, Materials and Matching, and the Advanced Armory Index. I just have one problem with this. Every single thing in the entire book is on page 3. Game systems overview is on 3. Card types 3. If I need the Heroes Market merchants, that's going to be on page 3. That's worth looking into. I think there's been a mistake here. And when we actually turn to page 3, we get the Heroes Guidebook, which just ends up putting us in a never-ending loop. With that bit out of the way, let's actually turn the page. We get an explanation on what Advanced Armory is, which I do have a video here on the channel of the Advanced Armory system. It's a modular D6 adventure system. It originally was created basically to be an overlay or a modular expansion to HeroQuest, so you could use Advanced Armory with HeroQuest, and you really wouldn't have to change anything. You're just adding it on there. It's just a bunch of extra skills and abilities and things that can happen for Zargon during Zargon's turn if there are no enemies on the board via the Dreadening Deck system, which there are multiples of this kind of system out there, and they all have their own pros and cons. They definitely all have their own little characteristics that make them suitable or not for your specific table. And the Dreadening Deck is an example of something among the ranks of the Chaos deck or Axion's deck, and so on. But the point being, if you have checked out Axion Quest and you have checked out Heroic Adventurer stuff on Etsy, then make sure you check out Advanced Armory if you are wanting even more ways to add to your HeroQuest game. So back to the book. It looks like there has been updates to all of this. The Dreadening Deck was the original Evil Wizard deck from Advanced Armory. A handful of those 41 cards received game mechanics changes, cleanups, or clarifications. A couple of them were renamed but left with their original functions intact. Subtype keywords were added to allow for precise interactions with future game mechanics. Lastly, the entire deck received a makeover using a composition of borderless backgrounds and beautiful new monster art. This is an important point to me because it's something that I've seen complaints about in the comments of my videos to the original system, but under the Armory section here, there have been adjustments across the board to market values to address power balance through accessibility, but also part of the charm of the first edition was the shopping experience, the opportunity for heroes to flip through a deck or binder of equipment options and pick their gear for function and style. As satisfying as this was, it was not sustainable in card form. It works great on a digital platform, but as a physical asset, we were all, including us, paying a premium for a host of cards we were not using. This was not an issue for collectors, but it generated too much waste for gamers, so we sat down and started pruning. Superficial art variants have been significantly reduced, so that thing that I actually complimented earlier has been reduced, and if that's the evidence that they came up with after researching and coming to a conclusion, then I have to respect that, and actually good on them for making that choice. Dark Mithril and Relic material items have moved to Masterclass. Exotic materials, Shadow, Blood, and Lava are now limited to a small sampling. The remainder of these items have moved to Masterclass. Armor sets and blueprints were fully updated and expanded for the new edition. And it's probably worth saying this is for the new edition. Any old edition cards that are still out there, and I don't know if you can still obtain the old edition at this point. It would be really cool if you could, if it was like print on demand. For a chance at getting those redundant items just in their various styles, that might still be a meritable choice to make for some gamers. So what all is in this new edition? The Advanced Armory standard format, or just standard, can function independently or be used as an accessory or upgrade to an existing game system. Now, they're avoiding saying HeroQuest because at this point, they're pretty confident that this stuff can overlay any classic dungeon crawler or contemporary dungeon crawler. I could probably take these and work these cards and these systems into Alter Quest or Dungeon Saga Origins. I'm looking over at my games collection right now, naming them off. Dragon Strike if I want to go classic. Mutant Chronicles if I want to merge the mutant wastelands with medieval weaponry. Warhammer Quest, absolutely. But it's going to be most compatible with HeroQuest because of the type of combat dice system that HeroQuest has. HeroQuest doesn't use standard D6s for combat. You can go ahead and relegate a standard D6 to the faces of a HeroQuest die. You can just say 1, 2, and 3 are skulls, 4 and 5 are white shield, 6 is a black shield. That's easy. But when your cards and your resources are saying, wait, no, this still makes sense. It would still be easy to do this. Ignavox uses 3 combat dice. It attacks on a skull. So yeah, you're going to roll 3d6, and if you roll a 1 through 3, based on what I said earlier, that's going to be 3 attacks. In this case, I've rolled 1. But I think what my original point is that it's going to be easiest to use these with the HeroQuest system in particular because, well, A, it kind of started out as a modification to that system and an overlay to it, so it was kind of made with that in mind. And B, just the visual distinction of looking at dice symbols that say skull or white shield and knowing exactly what that means instead of having to assign an arbitrary 1 through 6 point value to them. There's nothing wrong with doing that, by the way. Go ahead and assign your point values and use D6 as much as you want. At the end of the day, they're all 6-sided cubes. There are a lot of decks now. We have a 54-card deck of the Alchemist Shop 1, a 54-card deck of Alchemist Shop 2, a 9-card booster for champion potions. The 1E upgrade is a 64-card deck, perfect for legacy collectors looking to get into new edition without excessive overlap. The Big Deck 1 and Big Deck 2, those are names. These 108-card decks are perfect for our new collectors just starting out. They contain nearly the entire standard Armory set. If you want to build your collection slowly or need duplicates of a particular theme or function, we have broken up the Armory into smaller decks and booster packs. So that's my question from earlier answered already. This stuff is definitely still available. This is basically an entire catalog right here, from the Artificers Guild, the Northlands, the Mountain, the Dread Legion, the Veil Legion, the Wizard's Wardrobe, the Blueprint deck, and so on. We have all kinds of ways of customizing our heroes. The King's Coffers is a deck containing entirely treasure cards, providing superior customization of your looting experience. And I'm willing to bet pretty much all of those are going to have the default generic Armory background for seamless integration into your draw treasure deck. But I'm also pretty confident that they'll have the appropriate symbols on the face of the card that will allow you to separate them back out of the deck into their original expansion, if that is the case. This book goes on to give you all of the information you need to apply these cards to your game system. It explains the anatomy of the cards and what all the symbols mean, and since it's modular, you can choose to use or ignore the symbols if you would like a simpler experience. The Hero's Market explains the market value of different things and kind of the money system involved here. Inns and taverns, the general store, the blacksmith, the Hero's Guild quartermaster, basically configurations of shops and shop types. Hammer Deep Outfitters, for example, is a haven for adventurers, featuring neatly arranged shelves stocked with various tools, consumables, and equipment. Hammer Deep Outfitters is a general store. See the services general store for a complete listing of available services. Common items, this merchant sells all common leather and cloth equipment. Refer to Leathersmith and Tailor for a complete listing. This merchant sells all common potions. Refer to the Alchemist Shop for a complete listing. And there is special adventuring gear here, available through Hammer Deep Outfitters and light armor and accessories that do not fall into these two categories, making this a completely unique shop in this shop classification system. The Death Dealer, the Cover Your R's Emporium. Yeah, I'm a sucker for stuff like this. It's a system that is set up to be expandable, modular. You can look at it, see how it functions, and then just make your own stuff and insert your own stuff for something that's completely yours. This follows the mindset of the HeroQuest homebrewer. Make it yours by just making stuff for it. We have services covered under board game mode. Sometimes it's best to keep it simple. If your playgroup is not ready or not interested in a more immersive services system, then we suggest using this menu instead. I want to say I've looked through here quite a bit and I don't see any grammatical errors. I don't see any punctuation errors. That's stuff that I can call out pretty quickly. in materials like this, so I have to say that the editing was really well done. So the formatting is just masterfully done. Formatting and editing in particular, kudos to you guys. You guys have a big workload in doing this stuff, and to actually pull it off in a way that is very pleasant to the eye, in my opinion, in my very important and experienced opinion, it's a wonderful thing. So you really earn the highest praise I can give you. Now, the art sprinkled throughout the book, and there's visuals on every single page, which is pretty nice. It is a mix, unfortunately, of what I call real art, because I am a gatekeeper, and just AI slop. And it's clear we have a grifter artist on our hands here with some of these images, and it's pretty obvious. But I know it's several artists, so I'm not admonishing the group of them for one. But art aside, the layout and the formatting is really top-notch. So whoever was responsible for that, you really do have my praise. Information is on every page. It doesn't seem like there's anything wasted. No space is wasted. There's plenty of exampling. There's plenty of, here is how you could do this. And there's a lot of authorship going on here, so kudos to the writer as well. We have a vocabulary section that is pretty early on in the book after the whole catalog section, really helping you as a, maybe not a novice to the whole dungeon crawling board game world, but a novice as to how to adopt things into it and homebrew for it, and giving you a tool set to work with so that you can apply your ideas through the context of the Advanced Armory's modular system. So that's kind of all I wanted to look at and reveal as far as the book goes today. I don't want to do too much because I really want you to be able to experience the joy of going through the book yourself. I don't want to give you the book for free. Squishy, squishy. So you should go check out Advanced Armory today. And thank you so much to Justin at Flashhammer Creative Studios for sending this along. This actually arrived super fast. I got this in the mail and I'm like, finally, my Underworlds order. It's only been, I said Underworlds, not underwear. It's like Warhammer, Underworld, never mind. It's still not here, but this got here. And I ordered that way before I got the email saying, hey Ash, Advanced Armory? Like, I'm pretty sure he was probably standing outside my door, reading his email on his phone, and as soon as I said yes, he's like, hey, we'll just set the package here and run away. I could see it happening. I could see it happening. Where is it? Here it is. Important notes, there is a digital version of the book coming to DriveThruRPG. It's been submitted since 7/28 and it's waiting for final approval. As of the time of this video, that may be already up, but as soon as it populates, it's fair game. All of these cards are shared on the website. If you're living in a region that is inaccessible or it's too costly to import physical cards, you're welcome to use the Advanced Armory digitally right out of their galleries, combined with the low-cost PDFs, you're ready to go. Personal use in this way is authorized and encouraged. But regarding the digital use, don't go selling the content on your own. If you want to support Advanced Armory, please do so directly through Advanced Armory, through Flashhammer Creative Studios. Every penny put back into the studio helps develop the next deck or the next book. You will note that some of the AA is not included in the new book, Loot the Room and the Dreadning cards specifically. That's intentional. The Guidebook is the first volume. The companion, the Quest Master's Guidebook, is in progress and will be out next year. Two reasons for that, cost and spoilers. Initially, it was all going to be one book, but once you get up to around 180 pages, the books become too expensive to produce without a lot of capital, and crowdfunding for this failed, so the creators had to think tactically. As for spoilers, the dual book format gives an opportunity to sneak secrets into the QMG, the Quest Master's Guidebook, that would have otherwise been spoiled. I mean, you can spoil this stuff anyway once you have both books, but at least you'll have a choice. And why so long of a wait? Because, like so many of us, Flashhammer has a job. For people wondering about the future, no matter how much farther Advanced Armory goes, it will still be modular. It will still be compatible not only with HeroQuest, but many other similar products. The next book will provide depth and guidance for aspiring and veteran Quest Masters. We explore Loot the Room and my guy, your printer needs some kind attention, a little bit of TLC. We explore new ways to run monsters, including ways to scale them up or down to meet the needs of your players. We explore how to run the dungeon environment, including traps and hazards. Lastly, but surely not least, we explore how to automate the QM role within reason so that you can play along with your family and friends. Yeah, we're still in sore need of ways to solo these quests. There have been good attempts at solo systems, and I'm not saying that they are without merit or invalid. They are certainly fun, but they don't address all of the challenges of being able to play HeroQuest specifically by oneself. Masterclass is going to be an add-on that provides additional granularity to the otherwise casual and tactical system, particularly to how armor works. Arcane College is getting a full range of card decks and a dedicated book. They teased a Halloween-themed quest pack, currently looking at fall 2026 for release. They teased mining, alchemy, and herbalism and a crafting system. These are all in development, and they've hinted at their own narrative world. Once we've gotten the last of our foundational game mechanics published, we will introduce our own narrative content and quest packs. So don't delay. Go to advancedarmory.com today. That was like really important, and I almost completely lost it. Advanced Armory, go check it out. It's Ash approved. Order today and you'll get a ton of free squishy marshmallow enemies to use in your HeroQuest game. I'm just gonna go ahead and say, since I didn't find any documentation for them, that they're probably body point 1, attack 1, defense 1. And that is all, brave heroes. So this time, for real, farewell for now and onward.